record. All right. Hello there, everyone. Welcome to What is Purium? And we are going to do a little bit of slideshows. We'll try to keep this quick as possible. And then we're going to do a little bit of chatting, hopefully, and question and answer near the end. And we're going to do a good job to just share what the heck Purium is all about. You've probably been hearing it all over the place and maybe even seeing potentially Jules post about it, and you may even be like curious yourself, like, what is that? I just want to know a little bit more. And so we're going to dive into this, but we're going to hopefully do more workshops and dive even deeper into gut health in the future, parasites, just more about food and nutrition and soil. Of course, we have gardening as well, and so much information there. And so thank you all for coming here on a Wednesday night. I also plan to be doing this time as Wellness Wednesday as well during this time, where we're going to be sharing transformation stories as well of real life people transforming their health and overcoming so many incredible things. So thank you all for coming. And I know that more are here to come as well. So we're going to learn all about how Purium works and how that transforms the health, fuels the body, supports total wellness. We're going to learn about organic superfoods, detox strategies, and how to thrive on plant-based nutrition. All right, so first of all, let's see if we can go to the next slide. All right, here we go. So who am I? Who is Kevin Luna? So a little bit about me. I'm here in San Diego and I've been born and raised. I am 36 now, and I definitely have been, grown up in the Southern California culture for sure, but I've traveled around the world. I've been to many different places. Like I lived in Houston and Los Angeles. I lived in the Middle East for a couple years, Belize for a year, and yeah, I pretty much grew up on the standard American lifestyle, like a lot of people. I loved sports. I still like sports. I like to integrate some of what I do with a lot of teamwork. I love what we're doing here in this community is so much teamwork. So much of us are working together, and I truly love that as well. And so that's a little bit about me. And so right here, you can see I was born in San Diego in 1988. So I'm 36 if you were doing some math. And I moved to Houston at 22. That was the first time like I moved away. I was there for 3 years. And what I realized, I got diagnosed at 25. And I learned so much about Houston and food and culture and just different lifestyle. And I was eating a lot like them. I was like almost 100 pounds overweight. I was developed an autoimmune disease called ankylosing spondylitis, and it nearly killed me. And it was extremely painful. My spine was starting to fuse together. The doctor said, I'll never be able to work out again. I'll never be able to go to the gym again. I'm going to have to be taken care of. I'm going to need to be in a wheelchair. And I was waking up feeling like I was in a car accident every single morning at like 3 a.m. And it was terrible. I was feeling like I was like 70 years old, 80 years old, and I was in my 20s. I was 25. You know what I mean? And then what happened is my dad took his life at 29, and I decided to go plant-based, go vegan at that same time during that turmoil and just confusion and like looking what was different. And I was like, I need to change. And it took me 4 years from that time before I said goodbye to autoimmune disease for the ankylosing spondylitis, and I didn't have the pain and the stiffness. And now 36, I've helped over 300 people, and I feel completely better. I feel like I'm 18 again. Like some of you guys, if you've seen some of my stuff on social media, I'm always doing physical stuff, always running and always, climbing and doing things, right? And so I want to share a little bit about like what helped me and what happened. And let's really quick back up on just really quick on the timeline. So there's a couple like just small missing pieces on like what happened. Like after 29 going plant-based, right? What I decided was I was like, let me just go the standard American diet, but vegan, right? At first, right? I started there, and then I learned more, and then I went to the Middle East. I went to the Middle East for 2 years. And while I was over there, I met someone. I did an interview where they had reversed their autoimmune disease, they had Hashimoto's. And that's where I had learned about the medical medium, how, juicing, celery juice, eating fruits, and eating that kind of lifestyle is where I had first learned that. And then I did that for about a year. And I was start and stop, start and stop, start and stop. And that's when I was introduced to this. And the biggest challenge I had during the juicing time, I was working 70 hours a week. I was I was unable to keep up with the amount of juice. I was still feeling hungry and I felt like yo-yo diet. I would start and stop and start and stop. I would sometimes have the juice and then still eat pizza, right? And I feel like what was the missing piece was some of these things that we're going to share here that just helped me so much to maintain it and sustain it now for 5 years straight. I've been eating these foods. So Purium is more than just a brand, it's a community and it's just like us. There's so many similarities to us and our community and our vibe and what we share about and what we talk about. And the name comes from pure and premium, right? So it's two words together. And it represents the commitment to the highest quality nutrition. We grow organic superfoods designed to nourish the body, cleanse toxins, and support total well-being with gut health as the foundation. It's all about using pure, high-quality nutrition to help people feel, look, and perform their best at any age. I've been eating Purium's foods for over 5 years, alongside with juicing, organic fruits, yoga, breathwork, the total everything, right? It's holistic health, meditation, and building community. And during that time, I personally helped transform the lives of 300 plus people. And I feel literally like I'm just getting started. And being part of this community has been like so tremendously helpful for me as well during my healing. And we've already started to help a lot of people. And I only see that as just getting started, right? So we've been doing these foods, and the founders are name is Dave and Amy are the founders, and they started growing these foods over 30 years. And we have hundreds of ingredients, and the list just keeps on growing in terms of like superfoods that we add. But really, what's the difference? Our superfoods are made with the most potent superfoods such as spirulina, wheatgrass, beets, and aloe. And even like our wheatgrass, for example, is made from an Egyptian non-hybridized wheatgrass that is grown in regenerative soil. And it's a unique wheatgrass called kamut that they use in lots of different places around the world. But ours is very special because we juice it right when it's at the peak ripeness during the wheatgrass for the wheatgrass. And so that's really, really great. And that's what makes the wheatgrass so unique. And that actually is the first thing that they created. You see this really, really dark green one. That's the first product that we made over 30 years ago that started helping people heal their gut and their skin, and it's just super nutrient dense. And it comes in the greens and the kamut and a few other things. And so every single bright color, vibrant flavor, and raw nutrient, all of these are raw too. They're dehydrated at room temperature with wind so that they maintain the living enzymes, and they all come right from Mother Nature. We pride ourselves in our ability to source the highest quality and purest foods from organic farms around the globe. And we don't put our products as just, what we don't put into the products is just as important as what we put in. And so 10-point quality commitment, certified organic farmers, and we've been organic farming since before organic farming was even a thing. We helped push to make the certification of the USDA organic label to be as strict as it is. We were part of the team or part of the company with the pioneers to help make that happen. Regenerative farming practices. And what's great about the regenerative farming, because there are quite a lot of different types now, is that one of the main focuses we use, especially in all of the greens, is regenerative green farming. So we're using green soil and we're using green plant matter and alfalfa and complementary plants to maintain the soil quality so that it regenerates without having to rotate crops, use animal products, use manure, haul manure in. And the alfalfa, for example, replaces the nitrogen in the soil as a nitrogen fixer so that it helps to maintain that consistency for the soil quality. The formulas are really, really smartly combined. They're not just all thrown together, right? It's not just like, hey, let's just put these things, they look like pretty good ingredients. Everything is really, really smart and synergistic. On-site microbiology department, they make sure that everything is clean, everything is pure. I've been inside the facilities. I've seen how clean it is. Like literally, it's so clean I could lick like the food off the floor. I've been working in the food industry for 20 years and helping people with food, and I've never seen a cleaner facility than these foods. And even going inside, we had to protect ourselves. We had to put like full on mask, full on uniforms, full on like gear to make sure that we're protecting ourselves from contaminating the food. There's no chemicals used inside the facility. It's all clean, like organic, like natural chemicals. So that's another thing. Sometimes you have organic food and you're like, oh, this is great organic food, but then they use a lot of harsh chemicals on the equipment or stuff like that. Everything's plastic free too. So plastic free packaging, all of that packaging that you see, sometimes you see like a lot of waste that ends up at landfills. And they also do all of that by hand. I saw them like preparing and mixing every single thing by hand and testing to make sure that there's no E. coli or salmonella or heavy metals or things that don't belong. Sometimes you read an ingredient label or you have an apple and you're like, where did this even come from? And did they even test to make sure there's nothing on it? All right, so we're gonna move on quickly. All right, so 100 years ago, all food was organic. Fruit was grown from the earth, and fruit was picked directly from the trees, and farmers actually farmed. But pure and nutrient-dense foods were abundant. They were chemically preserved. Foods were almost non-existent. There weren't like preservatives or all this sort of stuff that you see in the markets, and the soil's filled with minerals, and the water was pure. Everything our bodies needed, we received from the earth. But why now? But we know that a lot of us live in a quality food desert, like even like here in San Diego, where you're like, oh yeah, we have all the farms and you have avocados and you have farmers markets and you have a lot of grown food that's really great. One of the challenges though is you might be in a certain part of the city where you can't get to that stuff, or might not have a car, or you might be like my mom's situation where she didn't have any great food right around her, even in a large city. She needed foods like these to get to her because it was really hard for her to get quality food to juice and prepare and cut and slice and even just get quality fruits. It was really, really tough. So the quality of food you eat is equal to the quality of life that you live, and you start to see that and you start to feel much better as you start to add this. The superfoods are part of the solution. Plant-based foods are packed with antioxidants, nutrients, minerals to regulate the body and pH levels, to support every single part of the body from the immune function to mental acuity. All right, so we're just going to move on to all this stuff because we're going to get to a few more things. All right, so Purium it really helps, especially if you're in a food quality desert. If you're living like Foley Rock, Christina, and you got your own farm, and you got your own oasis, and you got your own fruit trees, and you can juice every day and eat your fruits from your farm every day, you might be good. You might be solid. But for most of us, like me, I definitely needed some help. I remember when I was really juicing in the beginning, we were shipping every single thing across the desert into the Middle East where I was living. And it was really hard to get quality food and quality nutrients, even though I felt like I was. And so this just makes it so simple. Makes it so convenient. You scoop, you shake, you drink, you go. Oh, at the end, I'm going to show you guys a really quick example of how it works. So we're going to go over just the main, oops, let me go back. We're going to go over just the main products. This is what Jewel started with. This is what I started with. This is what Leilani starting with. Lori's here, I know is on this, started with this. Eric also is listening. I know he started with this. This is what most people start off with. This isn't maybe what you might have to have forever, but this is a great start because it covers all your bases. It covers the foundation. This is called the ultimate lifestyle transformation. And you've probably been seeing this everywhere in a lot of conversations and Jewel stories and in a lot of different places. But Purium's proven lifestyle transformation programs have been the blueprint for permanent, lasting change for hundreds and thousands of customers. For each of them, it began with a commitment made to themselves that they were ready to create a better life. At Purium, we're confident we have a program that's right for you. Each program is built around 4 core nutrition products. It's simple to follow and makes it easy to achieve your health and fitness and aesthetic goals. Be proud of your commitment and stay consistent and be transformed. Even in the first 10 days for Jules, her goal was gaining weight because she was underweight and undernourished. She had fasted, she had juiced, and she lost her gut health issues, or gut health, and her pancreas wasn't providing the enzymes. So she gained 100 pounds. She gained 20 pounds up to 100 in the first 10 days, 11 days, which is incredible, right? And that was one of her big goals. And the big factor was these super aminos. These are originally created for patients in comas to maintain their muscle mass. They're made from fermented lentils. And this is actually the only thing that's currently in plastic. Everything else is completely plastic free, but this is going to be plastic free pretty soon. Hopefully it'll also be plastic free soon. It's like the last one. All of these are made from hemp and bamboo. and tree resin. The Power Shaker, the Nourishing Greens. This tastes incredibly delicious. I didn't really like green juices before. Even anything from Medical Medium to Goodbye Lupus to all the juice. I've made so many different juices. And what I like about this one is it's just so sweet. It's so easy. It's so nourishing that it actually is a meal replacement. And that's what's a big game changer. Sometimes you have a juice that are incredibly delicious. Even there are really good ones, cold press, all kinds of great ones that did taste good. But oftentimes I would still be leaving myself still hungry. So that was a big factor, right? The other factor is, are we absorbing this nutrients? Let's say you have an incredible juice. And like what was happening with Jules is it's going through her system, right? And maybe not absorbing. Now she's at the point where she could take in the juice, right? Which is great. And that's the other thing is this, you might get away from having the juice that you love and you can get back to it if that's what you really want, right? And that's incredible. Right. And so the big factor, and I tell everyone, if this looks like too much, and like this looks like a lot, the foundation of everything is this biomedic. This supports a healthy gut. You heard it even when Jules was on Dr. Phil, the very first thing that she said was that gut health is the foundation to everything. And she's absolutely right. But this was the missing piece because she's getting the nutrients in. But what's happened is it's a lot of chemicals like glyphosate. Glyphosate is in a lot of our food, a lot of our produce. You see the beautiful fruits around this picture. A lot of them, especially like if you have unorganic strawberries, I call them a chemical bomb because they have so much chemicals on non-organic strawberries typically that they absorb so much of it. Their skin is so light. And you know, a lot of us know the Dirty Dozen, right? Or we know the Clean 15 or whatever, these cleaner fruits, right? And so what this does is this detoxes your gut from glyphosate. It's proven, clinically proven to remove glyphosate from the body, restore the gut microbiome, and increase absorption. So every single thing that you're eating is going to be improved. You're juicing, it's going to be improved. You're eating this, it's going to be improved. You're not eating this, it's going to be improved. You're eating fruits and strawberries, it's going to be improved, right? And so this is really the biggest factor. And for me, suffering with an autoimmune disease, gut health is the biggest foundation for almost every single autoimmune disease. And so once you repair your gut, then you could start absorbing. Now, a lot of people might have a great gut microbiome, but then they have parasites that can live into your body for up to 10 years. You have the parasite cleanse, and this is just for 10 days. These are very common herbs like clove, wormwood herb, amalika fruit. And so these are common herbs that are known to help to eliminate parasites. And you do it for 10 days during the first 2 months, or the first month, and 10 days during the second month, because the second month, ideally, potentially, sometimes the parasites lay eggs and you want to make sure that you kill the eggs the second month. And this also comes with a really great guide. When I was helping people with nutrition, I have a recipe book. I have all kinds of nutrition support. The biggest challenge I have is helping them maintain it and keep up with it, right? You have someone juice for 3 days and then they fall off, or you have someone with recipes for 7 days and then they fall off. And then there's no accountability. What's great about this is it has incredible accountability and a great checklist. Then you have the last thing to sleep is the tart cherry juice. Everybody loves cherries, or most people love cherries. This is great within all of this stuff is raw and you can make in recipes too. You can mix this in so many different things as well. So the apothecary is great at nighttime. I have it with just water or just straight up, or I might mix it with like a seltzer and have like a almost like a black cherry soda or something like that. I know Jules was talking about her mom is struggling with soda and she's struggling with Diet Coke. But let's say, for example, this is not about taking away, it's about adding, and some things fall away. For my mom, when she added this, for example, she was on 25 medications, and some of you guys met my mom. She was on 25 medications, really, really struggling. The day one coffee went away. We didn't even talk about that. She just let it go. Cigarettes went away day one. We didn't even talk about that. It just happened. These cravings just naturally went away. But let's say soda, for example, I'm going back to that. You add some of this tart cherry juice into like a Diet Coke or like a seltzer, right? I told her like in the Diet Coke, like put it in there, have a black cherry soda. Just add it into the stuff, right? And it's gonna naturally fall away. And so that's what I've seen time and time again. And same with Jules. I wasn't even telling her to take away anything. I said what you'll find out, what you'll likely will happen is a lot of the stuff that you don't need will fall away. You'll realize I'm not hungry, I'm satiated, I have energy, I feel great, I'm happy, my mood is maintained. And it's just less work. It's just so easy. You scoop it, shake it, and go. This, you could take a screenshot if you want, or take a picture, but it just really talks about what happens through days 1 through days 90. when you maintain something and you do 90 days, it takes 90 days to do a habit. I know that someone was talking in the support group about, hey, I didn't do my 90 days, or hey, I fell off my 90 days. What do I do? You can jump back on. You can jump on at any time. At any time, you could start day one. And you know what? You could every day should you it's just so easy just to think of every day as day one. That's the way I think about it. Every day is day one. You know what I mean? As far as like I just maintain the lifestyle and don't overcomplicate it, but you could start at day one every anytime. And this is what people notice. In the first month, the first 30 days, the same thing happened in Jules, building muscle, right? Burning fat, eliminating toxins, reducing bloating, creating healthy habits. And next, she continues, right? Or anyone that continues, she's going to start to see improved skin elasticity, healthy choices, eliminating glyphosate, improving her elimination, reducing body odors, craving the superfoods, right? And you could just start to see these improvements as you go on. And you have a really great tracker that comes with you. Well, these you can see my improvements, but you have a great tracker that like a checklist that comes with everything that you need. It makes it really simple. So here's me right here. I used to be eating anything. This is me eating in China, eating, I don't know what, off the street. I used to eat whatever. I was wearing like I was used to be a Monster representative. Not like they didn't pay me. I just would represent them wherever I went. And I used to drink Monsters all the time. And then you could see me here on the right, drinking a big smoothie here in Belize, in tropical Belize, where I really transformed. This is when I truly, made the commitment. And in 3 days of doing the ultimate lifestyle transformation, when I committed, I started feeling it and I felt my best and the pain went away. And this is me drinking one of the dark berry, the fruits from the dark berry, and just you make it up. You can mix it smoothies how you like, or you could just mix it with water to make it really simple. This is my mom right here. And I know this picture is a little bit blurry, but it is a little bit older. But this is kind of a little bit when she started, right? And she was overweight, and struggling. She was on 25 meds, and now she's really thin. Actually, she's more thin than this. But this is a great picture of her for sure. And she has been on this for about the same time as me, actually 1 month maybe after me. And she's transformed so much and is also now helping a lot of people as well. And now she's part of the group. She was on our first call this morning with our support family group, and she shared her story, and she's just really motivational. She just turned 60, so you could be inspired for those that are a little bit elder. And then she also has she had stage 3 osteoporosis and was able to overcome that. And we have the bone density test from the first year, that she improved by 200% improvement of her bone density test, which is incredible. And her hip fracture also 200%. It was almost identical overall fractures and her hip fracture from 25% to 12.5%. So literally cut in half, 200% increase, however you want to slice it. And right here is the first person that I helped international. She's in Ireland. Her name is Lorna, and she's been enjoying these foods and helping her family and everyone all over Ireland and everywhere she travels. And her name is Holistic Lorna on Instagram if you want to follow her. And she's really big inspiration to me and someone that is just doing so amazing and helping so many people, and came on, struggling with gut health, looking for a solution, and just surprised me because I feel like, oh, it's so healthy in all these other countries and America's so toxic, which is kind of, some truth, right? But it was just surprising to see how much improvements I see in Europe, and how much the chemicals and how much, people are struggling with their health over there too, even just living in other countries. I was just blown away with the amount of struggling that people are dealing with some of these diseases. And this is Jenny. She's a mother. She was struggling to give birth to her child, and she was looking everywhere for answers. And she had the green juice, everything, the ultimate lifestyle transformation. And within a month, she was able to have her baby. And now she's a happy mother, taking care of her baby and just living life, focusing on taking care of family. And so that's really great. So she's able to do that. She's in California, and this is my cousin. So this is and my niece. And so this is when he was really overweight. He was like maybe 100 pounds overweight, diabetic, fatty liver disease. He's never eaten meat his entire life. He ate a lot of cheese and a lot of alcohol. And he was really struggling when he came to me. And I was worried, honestly. I told him, I was like, look, you have two daughters, and now he's a third one on the way. And I said, you might not be there for them. And that really concerned me. And I helped him to focus on his taking care of his health. And this is him now on the right. He's a bodybuilder now, a vegan bodybuilder. He went vegan, plant-based, and he helps so many people now transform with their fitness. And this is my uncle. He's been vegan for 60 years on the far left, my uncle. And my grandpa passed away, and this is when he was a little bit overweight still before he transformed, my cousin. And my uncle hasn't eaten meat or animal products in over 60 years. And he looks pretty healthy, and he's the only one alive on that side of my family. And my dad passed away, and he's the oldest. He's like 65-ish, maybe almost 70, and he still does construction, and he still rides motorcycles on the weekends. So he's still healthy. And he also enjoys some of the superfoods too, but he never eats at restaurants and doesn't do any social media. I want to do like an interview with him, maybe like a secret interview to like get his story, because I don't have his story because he has no social media or anything anywhere. All right, so here's a little video. Oh, is the sound not on? No sound? Oh man, that's okay. Well, I had a little video, but I don't think the sound wasn't coming through, right? No sound was coming through. Eric, do you want to share anything, if you feel called to, about your experience with some of the foods and just some of the things that you've learned? You are someone that inspired me tremendously. You've been plant-based for like what, how many years now?
13.
13 years, plant-based and an athlete and just a really, incredible experience, in terms of that lifestyle and helping so many people. And also been eating these foods for like over 10 years now too, is right?
Yeah, absolutely. Well, thank you, Kevin, for putting this together. And I just got to say, your story is so inspiring. The way you really picked up the torch and first focused on your own health transformation and then took that a step further and now are inspiring hundreds and hundreds of people, other people to follow in the same path. So that really inspires me a lot. But my journey, if you will, my health journey started about 13 years ago, when I recognized that while I was working a very demanding, high stress corporate job, that my health was starting to suffer. And what I was doing is relying on stimulants and caffeine. I was drinking a lot of strong Cuban coffee because I live here in South Florida, so it's pretty much everywhere. It's just coffee is culture down here. And so pretty much any office you walk into, the first thing they offer you is cup of, espresso or Cuban coffee, American coffee. And so I was relying on that just to get through my days. And of course, it was leading to heart arrhythmia. I was feeling a lot of brain fog, having trouble sleeping, palpitations. And so I knew that something needed to be done. My adrenal glands clearly were burnt out. And the final straw was in around 2009, 2010, when I got really sick with the swine flu, which was a low-key epidemic at the time that caused me a lot of long haul symptoms. And I missed a lot of work. My income went way down. Being in corporate sales, you can't afford to be sick. And so it really hurt me tremendously in many ways, including financially. So I knew that, like you, Kevin, I needed to take control of my health. And that started with the decision, first off, that something needs to be done. And that's when I started researching. And right around this time, I found, I call it divine intervention, but someone came into my life who shared this program with me. It was a complete stranger, in fact, and they shared a gift card with me that not only changed my life, but that of hundreds of actually tens of thousands of people, now close to 100,000 people, that I've either directly or indirectly, mostly indirectly, introduced this program to. What's been interesting about about the transformation is, of course, there were some dramatic results over the first 30, 60, 90 days. Like, the brain fog lifted. I started feeling more natural energy. I eventually was able to kick the caffeine habit. And now I just stick to my herbal tea, which I love. Um, I did got very lean and more of a muscular physique. I put on muscle. My body fat went way down and I had to get a whole new wardrobe. But what was even more than that is that unlike many other programs I've done in the past, this was sustainable. And the reason, looking back, the reason it was sustainable is because number one, it's convenient, wasn't complicated, didn't require me to become a five-star chef in the kitchen. I could simply just mix up a couple of scoops of dehydrated organic superfood with some water or some plant-based milk, shake that up and go within minutes. And when you're working a busy, demanding job, that's a huge advantage. So just to be able to get nutrition fast, no matter where you're at, on the go. The other thing was very, very, very surprisingly affordable. In fact, this has helped me shave hundreds of dollars off of my food budget because, I was notorious for eating out, delivery services, lots of beverage runs, coffee shops, just a lot of extra, extra, extra stuff that in looking back, I was probably spending well over $1,000 a month, excluding groceries. I mean, it really adds up. And so, I was able to replace simple meals and snacks with something that gave me the equivalent of six salads that cost me $3.50 roughly. Huge win financially. So saving me a ton of money. And then just, the fact that, you know, uh, it's something that is easy to follow. It's not something complicated. There's a simple system, a schedule that comes with each ultimate lifestyle transformation that anyone can follow. So you know what time you're taking what, and there's flexibility built into the system, but you have a system. And the last part of that is having support. And that is absolutely key because when you're making lifestyle changes, if you ever try to do those on your own, it's pretty hard. It's pretty hard most of the time for most people. But when you have support, you have people that can inspire you continually, that can talk you through obstacles that you encounter, because you will. It's so helpful, so helpful. And so I've been plugged into this community for 13 years. And I've gotten to know a lot of really awesome, amazing people like Kevin and many others. But we've gotten so close. We've become good friends. We've become family. And so this is more than just a system. This is more than just a product. I mean, you could get that on Amazon. You can go to Whole Foods and get some products off the shelf, but ask anyone in the store if they can explain it to you. Ask them if they can give you a personal testimonial of how they've used the product, how they've benefited the product, how to specifically use the product, like Kevin just did. And you'll be hard pressed to find that. So this community that this system comes with is invaluable. And all of this comes free. I don't know how they do it, but it all comes part of the program. So I just think the value that people are getting is tremendous. And I attribute the genius of the system, the formulator, that's put this together, David Sandoval. It's just brilliant. And it's what's helped me to continue living this lifestyle and now be able to share this with thousands of other people. So thank you, Kevin, for the opportunity to share my story and my experience. And I just wish that everyone, no matter who you are, takes the opportunity to see just what's possible in 30 days, in 60 days, and in 90 days, because you can become, and I've seen this happen many, many times over, you can transform yourself mentally, physically, emotionally, spiritually into the best version of yourself in just 30, 60, 90 days. If you're willing to commit and you're willing to to make a decision to do this with us. So on that note, Kevin, I will turn it back over to you and thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you so much. I appreciate it. If there's any questions, you guys can comment or feel free to open up now. And I'm in the kitchen. If you may have not noticed, I'm just going to do a quick demonstration, a really quick one to show you how simple and how easy it is to get it done. But you can feel free to, I can hear you, or you can hear me clear, right? Seems like it, because I took out the other mic. But either way, yeah, just let me know if you have any questions. You can speak up or type them in there while I do just a quick presentation. So it comes really simple. All you need is a little blender or anything that you could shake it up. But all you need is just some water. All right. So let's just say you want one of the greens. For example, the greens that we were talking about was the Power Shake, which is the one that is super delicious. And what makes it so delicious is it has the monk fruit inside of it, which is one of the best fruits that you can have, the Lohan berry. So let's say you have the Power Shake and or one of the dark greens or one of the Egyptian wheatgrass. But let's say this one, for example, the Egyptian wheatgrass, right? What I like about this one is, I'll show you about this one is super delicious and it is also so simple. But what I also like about it is the color. So there's no artificial colors, there's no artificial flavors. It's all natural color that's coming from it. And what I like about this one, for example, is just how beautiful the color is when you see it. So it's really simple. Just simply add water. And I love the color of this one. It's like a nice, really light green, creamy color. And there's other, they have spirulina as well, but the colors are really, really beautiful. So another one that I really, really love as well that is not that we didn't mention. This is also one that's really popular this is my absolute favorite. It's called Can't Beat This. This one tastes like fruit punch. This one has beets, passion fruit, guava. And what I like about this one, similar as well, it's just really beautiful color and it's going to be red and very, very simple. I'm not all about measuring. You can measure, there's this very specific measurement, but I've been having them for a certain amount of time now that it might seem like a waste. I'm going to make 3 of these, but I'm going to drink these because these are delicious. This one's a nice, pretty pink, red, like a dark red, almost the color. This one, red's my favorite color, if you didn't notice. And this one is actually my favorite one. I believe that you can't beat this one. It has cordyceps mushrooms as well. This one replaced to me like energy drinks or anything like that when I was addicted to energy drinks or Monster. A lot of people have a coffee replacement. This is great for before a workout. If you're like, I want a little kick right before a workout, but I want to like do too much work or eat too much. This one's great and it tastes like fruit punch, right? So that one's really great. You look like you're about to say something.
Yeah, I just wanted to add in, you mentioned the color several times, and the reason why that's important is because those represent phytonutrients. There's antioxidants in those colors, and there's no added colors, no added artificial flavors, sweeteners. This is the natural color from the fruits and the greens that have been gently dehydrated. So I'm glad you mentioned the color because that's one of the ways we can recognize nutrition and the concentration of nutrition is by the color.
Yeah, so this one right here is called Epigenous Family. You're going to see me share this one a lot. It's all in the family. We're the divine family. When I recommend what do you do next? Okay, people are like, okay, I did the ultimate lifestyle transformation. I like this and this and this. I want to keep this. Maybe this will go, whatever. That's okay. What I recommend is all the family things afterwards. Everything in the family, Epigenous family, the MVP family. Those are 2 great ones. And then also, of course, the greens and the power shake, right? But these are really, really great ones to start off with next. And we have what's called the core of the family products, right? All together. And we also have the family nutrition pack, which is all of the family things together in one family pack. almost everyone, I think everyone here is a family. Everyone here has families. This is critical for my mom. This is critical for my cousin. This is critical for my nieces. This is critical for everyone in my family. I know Lori, this is a staple in her family. I know Eric, I know Nicole on here. This is a staple in her family as well. The chocolate one is great, and especially if you're struggling, it was originally created for kids. It was originally created for kids because it has all of your greens, all of your fruits, all of your veggies. It has the biomedic that I described earlier inside of here, inside the recipe. So when I drink this, I'm getting a serving of the biomedic, the one, the gut health. It's detoxing the glyphosate and repairing the gut. It was created for kids to taste like chocolate. It has an organic, fair trade cacao inside here. And this one tastes really, really good, really chocolatey. And it was so that you can get all the stuff. It's like, here, just have a chocolate smoothie to the kids. They get all their fruits and veggies in one serving. And it's just so helpful for so many of the busy moms. And this is a really, I know, big staple for in a lot of people's lives. The recipes, there's so many recipes that can be made. I know Steph is going to create recipes in our group with this one as well and the other one. So there's just a lot really about this one that's really incredible. If you're like on the fence about anything, try this one. This one's like the best. Or if you're on the fence, try the can't beat this one, right? Those are the ones that are like great starter ones. If you're like, I don't know, maybe. And the greens are surprisingly good. You're gonna be like, whoa, I honestly, I don't think I've ever had greens this delicious and sweet. And that's kind of what really helped me and sold me was like, okay, I could do this. And this one too. This one I also recommend for guys, like guys that are like so picky or so tough. They're like, no, I just want my burgers. I just want my whatever. Like try this chocolate smoothie and see how you feel and see how it goes. And you'll be surprised. You'll be surprised what happens. And so that's pretty much what I have. And that's really as simple as it is. And you could have this once a day, twice a day. We recommend twice a day to start. Some people do it once a day. Sometimes I'm so busy. I'm like, I don't have time. I didn't prepare enough juice. I didn't prepare enough fruit. I'm just gonna have this as a direct meal replacement. All the ones that I showed you are, well, the chocolate one, the green one, and there's a few others that are direct meal replacements that can be enough to cover your lunch, to be cover your dinner, especially for the way that I know a lot of people eat here, which so high fruit, high raw, high juicing. Like you'll be like, yeah, this is definitely filling enough for a meal. Where it can be struggling is someone that eats like, well, I'm used to having two double cheeseburgers as a meal. We'll be like, okay, you might feel like you need a little bit more, if you're going right from double cheeseburgers to this. But anyways, yeah, that's what I have. Any questions or Nicole or anyone want to add in to anything of their experiences throughout this as well? I need to save my breath.
Hey, yeah, I'm here. Sorry, I'm laying down with my kids, but they are all so good. I like how you explained everything and talked about the facility and everything like that. I think is really important too, because if you're gonna, ideally for me, like my ideal life would be knowing exactly where everything I use, consume comes from like the best quality place. And that could take a lot of time to curate your life like that. And it can be more expensive too. But I think that they just do such a good job where you can really trust the whole process, start to finish, and just know that you were able to get everything that you can from that company and it's going to meet those standards and be part of that journey towards like high quality life in every single way. So I think that's super just it's important. And I like as a mom and stuff, it just is nice to give that to your kids and know that they get everything that they need and they can kind of eat a little bit or they can eat a lot, they can eat whatever, and it's that foundationally everything is solid.
Yeah, that even for myself, it gave me peace of mind. I was like, I'm covered nutritionally. I got everything, and everything else is a nice bonus. I'll have a juice, and that's going to be for fun, and the fruits are all for fun, and they all just became snacks and just become, yeah, just fun. And this became a little bit more foundational. But everyone, yeah, it's a little bit different for each person for sure. But like, let's say, I'll show you guys an example. Another thing that's really great is when you make a purchase and I'll put the gift code inside the group chat, but it's easy to remember. It's Divine Family. When you use the gift code Divine Family and you go to the website, ishoppurium.com, or the ultlifestyle.com. And I'll show you guys that real quick, what that looks like. Up here, where is this one? How do I exit out of here? Exit. Okay. So if you go to this website right here, ishoppurium.com, and you choose anything that you want to purchase on here, it goes back to the family. So the 20% helps to support the community, the divine family. And so that's really, really incredible. So you can look at all of the stuff. I think about this as my own online store for my food, for a lot of my foods. You know, you have fruit. I know so many people hear fruit primarily, which is great. We'll have try the bio fruit. You know what I mean? Try the one that's just straight up fruit. Bio stands for beauty from the inside out. And you might find out that you really like everything that comes inside of that one, you know, from the pomegranate to the pineapple to the mango to the blackberries to the blueberries, grapes, acai, beetroot, acerola, blackcurrant, goji berry, cranberries, strawberries, and raspberries, right? And so anything goes back to help support the family. Or if you're like, you know what? Oh, this is not the one, but that's okay. Let's say you're like, you know what? The I really want to do that transformation one that you described, the same exact one that Jules did, that Leilani's doing, that I'm doing, Lori did, a lot of people are doing, is the ultimate lifestyle transformation, which is to start, which I recommend, and you could find it under the lifestyle, or you just go to the website ultlifestyle.com, and same thing, you can use the gift code Divine Family when you're ready to check out, and you're going to get $150 off of this one, or you get 25% off. And so that's just really, really a great deal for us, our family. We get a discount as well, and it supports the family for long term. I was looking for one thing on here. Maybe it's on this one. Is this it? Oh yeah, this one. I have right here on I think the fourth one is my story right here as well. So today I feel better than I did when I was in my early 20s, 50 pounds overweight, fat, sick, and nearly dead. That's where I was over 10 years ago. Today I feel better than I did when I was in my early 20s. It's wild to me because I was told I was never going to work out again and needed to be on a wheelchair and someone to take care of me. How deflating. My intention is to show people that there's a better way where you can take back control of your health, and I can show you the way. It's not an easy path, but it's definitely worth it. All right, so that's pretty much what I have. I think everyone has the ability now and they know what's up and they know how to get started. And if you have any other questions, I'm here. We have my circle inside the community that has all the other support that we have and all the other answers and links to get anything. And just know that it's good because when you support the family with these foods and they're supporting you, you're also supporting Jules and her family. And so I think it's a win-win, or a win-win-win, depending on how you look at it. Right. And so, yep, that's all that I have. And unless there's anything else that anyone wants to share, feel free to shout out now.
I was just wondering, like, what can you expect from the parasite cleanse? Like, are there any side effects or anything like that?
Yeah, for sure. What I've noticed, if someone is like really toxic and they haven't done anything like that, they've never done any kind of herbs that are helping, they're always eating like, you know, the standard American diet, lots of fast food, lots of takeout, lots of coffee, they may have some more intense kind of like pain, detox symptoms, right? Because the parasites are going to be bigger and want to hold on longer, you know, where they're going to be like fighting for their life. Whereas you've been healthier, maybe you've done something similar in the past, maybe you've been fighting them off, maybe you've been eating pretty clean. It could be very, very, very gentle. Like for Jules, I told her she was worried and she was like, am I going to be, you know, detox symptom and this? I'm so scared about the parasite cleanse and all this sort of stuff. And I honestly thought she was going to have very minimal symptoms and if anything, more energy. And that's exactly what happened for her because she's already pretty clean. She's already really good. She just needed a little bit of help. And so that's what I've noticed, like consistently with a lot of people. And that's where if you told me to do this, you know, 7 years ago, I probably would have been like, no way. Like I was probably like not ready. Even Jules, like she was not ready. It was divine timing. Like it had to be the right timing.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. But yeah, I know some people because that's like the scariest sounding thing. Everything else sounds nice. Green juice, gut health, parasite cleanse. You're like, oh shoot. Yeah, so it's like it's just like yeah, the bark, there's bark in there too. The bark is louder than the bite, I would say, especially if you're on the healthier side. For sure. Like that did not bother me at all. Even though and because I had already been on a pretty good health journey. It wasn't like not severe. Like I've seen some people that are really unhealthy that like it hurts a little bit more, but for most people, and it's designed that way to be everything in there is really designed to be gentle. Like there's papaya seeds are great, but they're tough, and honestly, I couldn't do papaya seeds. I was like, it just tasted so terrible to me. Like what's great about this, even though the clove obviously isn't t good tasting, you swallow it. It's in a capsule, plant-based, and also let's say you have a great supplement or a great herb or a great capsule of herbs and it's in plastic, you might be getting microplastics in there. So that's the other thing. You're not getting any of the microplastics in any of the food, So that's helpful for a lot of reasons. Sometimes people are like doing great, but then like plastic overload or they're like juicing so great, but then they don't realize how many chemicals are in the juice. So little things like that. So it just helps to give you that break. Sometimes we just say it's just simply a break from processed foods, a break from chemicals, a break from toxins, and it's hyper nourishment. It's not about starving. Eat as much as you can. Like if you having this and you're still hungry, have more fruits and you have your favorite things that are on the health. Everyone eats here are healthy, pretty much, or most people, but like have your healthy things that you love, that are all, the fruits and the juice, have that along with it, right? It's not about taking away, it's about adding in and just seeing what happens. And, like Jules is like your choice, whatever happens, happens. Just true, be authentic, share your reality and see what happens. And that's what's happening. And for most people, especially someone that's doing great already, I've seen it time and again, it is a huge upgrade, right? If they're already doing well, they often have a great upgrade. Sometimes those that are doing really, really poor health and really like heavy standard American diet, they may have to go down before they come back up because they got to go through that detox cycle. Whereas like most of us or a lot of us been through a detox cycle, so it's more up. It's like you're feeling up and great. You're not feeling down. And Jules had almost no down, almost no detox symptoms, which is really good. The only time she had a detox symptoms was when she veered off from eating the foods, when she ate something that wasn't technically not approved during the cleanse, or whatever, right? Or during the transformation. But anyways, yeah, so that's all I have for you guys. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. I honestly, I think we went off over a little bit extra, or I was not keeping track of the time very well. And yeah, thank you all. And I'll be sharing the recording as well and share this with anyone that you feel called to. And if you want to look more in the information that we have, I have lots of good information there in my Meet Kevin circle. And so you could see more stuff if you're interested as well. And I can also answer your questions, any support or guidance for anyone that has additional questions. I'm here, and you have my direct message as well. All right. Thank you all. Have a good night and be safe. Happy healing.